Hey traders, welcome back to another market update. Today we're going to dive into some technical analysis on some of the major pairs and see what's going on with the market. So Euro USD here on the daily chart actually did end up breaking through that major low that we talked about on the last market update, which of course is this area here, right? Price actually halted there. You can see the tiny little green candle before price broke underneath and actually held. I'm still maintaining my bearish thesis here on this pair as we've talked about, and I think that we potentially have room to continue to go lower in favor of this long-term downtrend that we've seen on Euro USD, right? Although things are at a very a long-term low, right? I would say that just because it's at a long-term low does not necessarily mean it cannot continue to go lower. I think that it's possible we see some sort of a pullback along the way here, but a trade setup that I really like right now would be the retest of this area, looking for the short side continuation on Euro USD. Just again, my own personal opinion there. GBP USD did actually hold that level of support. You can see we left it on from last time. Price did hold that level very nicely. You can see we started to get a nice little bounce there. And the question will be, can we make a move back to this area here? We have been in kind of a choppy market environment on GBP USD. So my personal opinion is that we probably continue to see some choppiness there and potentially even head back to that recent high right around this area here at the 1.32 mark. Next up is going to be USD JPY, still kind of staying in our range that we talked about. We do have resistance, of course, up here, and price didn't quite make it up there. If price were to jump up there, it would be interesting to see what we get from there. I again mentioned last time that I do like the idea of an overall bullish play on USD JPY, meaning that if price decides to make a break, the actual retest and continuation trade would be my personal favorite setup on this particular pair. You could probably also line it up with some sort of trend line that we also have, and that might also be a trade to consider as well. This trend line has been being respected. You can see if we draw it out a little bit further, we do have this version of it, right? That's a nice little bounce off 1, 2, 3 times, right? So something to look out for going forward on USD JPY. Gold is our next one. You can see gold holding for the bulls still at this moment, looking like it still wants to float up to the upside. Possible that we make a move to this level first. This level being, let's see if we can get a marker just right around the 1589 level. Price looking like it still wants to maintain its bullish thesis here on gold. Next up is Brent crude, and Brent crude, interestingly enough, did catch a little bit of a bounce here off of that black line. You can see we did catch some continuation to the upside, and now we are looking like we want to retest this area. This is going to be a big kind of moment for bulls and bears, is if we can hold this level as a bearish level, right? It's possibly make an extension down to that 50.29 level. And on the alternate side, if price has the strength to push through, I'd be potentially looking for bullish side movements, as we possibly could be seeing a bigger reversal on oil there. Same thing with WTI crude. You can see we are retesting that kind of shelf level right there, seeing if price wants to hold or break back above. I think that personally, oil is a bit stretched to the downside, but at the same time, oil is one of those markets that can really trend and continue to be short or continue to be stretched to the downside for a lot longer than people think. So we'll see what we get there. Again, overall, the market has been pretty choppy, so I think that there's a possibility we see a bigger bounce, but we'll see ultimately how this trade plays out. AUD USD here actually still consolidating in the range that we talked about here down in the lows. Not too much to say there until we see a breakout either one way or the other, right? There's two potential trade setups that we could play on the AUD USD setup, depending on where the price decides to break from. New Zealand yen is our last one. You can see we did hold this level for some time, but we're seeing some sort of a pullback here on the New Zealand yen pair. Looks like price may want to either retest this low or is just making a pullback before continuing to the upside. We'll see what we get there on New Zealand yen. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and we'll see you guys back next time.